Date of Genesis, birth chart date is 6/21/2018. Putting this together, I came into something strange. If you look on this chart, you'll see that doesn't list the 7th house or the 1st house. I'm going to use this chart. Because of her method, where the sun is the ascendant, is where the ascendant and the 1st house cusp starts. And then the rest of the house cups are the next degree after the sun. So the sun is on 29 degrees. So then all the rest of the house cusps would start at 0 degrees of, the 2nd house should start at 0 degrees of Cancer and Leo and the rest of them. Because the sun is at 29 degrees and then the next house was at 0 degrees Cancer, it took away the 1st and 7th house. I mean, it is there, but it's just that line of the 1st and 7th house. This did not change the aspects, but it did change the houses. I'm going to read off of this one because that is her method. The sun is at 29 degrees of Gemini, summer solstice. It's pretty significant, I feel. 29 degrees, that's the degree that represents Leo energy. Strong, vibrant, leadership, wants to be out there in front of it all. 29 degrees is called an anaretic degree. It's the last degree of a sign before it changes to the next sign. Anaretic degree can be some issues with decision making in the part of the company coin represented by the energies of the planet, which is the sun, so it's the company. The company may reevaluate situations before making a move one day and the next day jump into action without listening to themselves. This is the sun, this is the company. They could perhaps say one thing and then do another. Decision-making issues could be an issue with this coin, this company, the project. Gemini it's an air sign, it's quick moving, it does change its mind a lot, so it could also change the course of action often. Could be confusing to others, not able to keep up with the changes. Could also make quick decisions to adapt to changing situations. The sun, which is the most important of the chart, does not aspect the moon. The moon represents the people who are investing, using the project, the blockchain, the investing into the coin. There's no aspect between them. It's not a negative aspect, so that's good, but there's no positive aspect. So there could be a disconnect between the coin and project itself and the people, the investors. The moon is at 10 degrees of Libra in the 5th house. 5th house is the house of creativity. It's the house that represents Leo. Actually, the house in Leo is ruled by the sun. So that is a connection there. But there's no aspects of angles. It's in Libra. It wants balance and justice. People want balance. They want justice. They want equality in the project. Sun is opposing Saturn. Saturn is in its home sign of Capricorn at 6 degrees. Okay, let's break this down. 6 degrees represents that Virgo energy, that hard-working, analytical, very detail-oriented. But Saturn imposes limitations, restrictions. The coin could be restricted, the people who have created this could be restricted, or there could be restrictions within the project itself. But price restrictions will show. There'll be price restrictions with this coin. At some point, maybe the growth is restricted, the price growth is restricted, challenged. The sun sextiles Uranus. Uranus is in the first degree of Taurus. Taurus is the 12th house. Okay, first degree represents Aries. It's sextiling, sun is sextiling Uranus. That is good. It's unexpected. It's unexpected changes, unexpected price changes, unexpected changes within the company itself. Perhaps the limitations that the company, the coin, the project faces gives way to these unexpected changes. Taurus represents securities, represents finances as well. It's not the second house, but it represents its finance, security. It's the 12th house. Emotional security. Unexpected security changes. Unexpected price changes. Sextile to the sun, so this could be helpful with the Saturn-Sun opposition. Sun squares Chiron in Aries and squares the midheaven. Okay, Chiron is right conjunct to the midheaven. This could be challenging. This is challenging because Chiron represents a wounding in the project, some issues to work out. But with the midheaven being conjunct Chiron, squaring the sun, that could be an issue for the fact Saturn is also opposing the sun. So there's a restriction on there and some issues of woundings right at the top of the chart where it should be shining the brightest, the highest, the best, but it's not able to. There's something it needs to overcome within the coin, the project, the company, the people behind the coin. There's something blocking this coin that could hinder the growth of the coin. The ruler of this midheaven is Mars. Mars is in Aquarius in the 9th house. Mars represents the movement of the price of the coin. Being in the 9th house in Aquarius, there's unexpected price movement, unexpected volatility. The sun does not aspect Mars, so that is a good thing, because if it squared it or was opposed to it, I would say the volatility would be very negatively imposing on this coin. So there's a lot of volatility in price action, unexpected volatility, up and down. Let's go to the moon now. The moon is squaring Mercury. The moon in Libra is squaring Mercury in Leo in the second house of Cancer. Mercury rules Gemini, rules the ascendant, rules the sun. Communications are an issue. Communications, the financial communications, the communication of the prices. Communication is an issue here with this coin. The traders could be very emotional about the price, about this project, but there's some communication within this coin with the investors, traders. Again, there's no aspect between the sun and the moon, so there could be a disconnect in the communication between the project, the chain, the company, the people behind this who started it, and the investors. The moon sextiles Venus and trines Mars. Moon trining Mars, that is good for the price. Volatile price, but good because it gives some nice price spikes up. Unexpected price movements. The investors believe in this coin, which is very good. You need the investors the people using this project to believe in it, to want it to succeed. The moon does square Saturn. Sun is opposed to Saturn. The moon is squaring Saturn. There is a definite restriction, price restriction and limitations within the project, the coin, the investors, the traders as well. A limitation in the prices, trading it. Perhaps the traders are limited to how high they can get the price, or there's just a limitation within the project that limits the people who are using the project, the investors in the project. There's a limitation with the investors, the users of this token. And Saturn's in Capricorn. It's in the 8th house. It's in its own sign. Something that's below the surface, that is not, there's a limitation that's not revealed right away. It's like it's a hidden limitation, and that could cause frustration within the project between the investors, traders, users, and the company, or the people who have created this project. The moon does sextile that north node. The north node is in Leo, which is good. The north node in Leo, that's the top of that chart in the business model with the north node business model. It takes 19 years to go around the wheel of astrology with the north node. Leo is the very top. It's when the prices are the best and the highest. So that is good. The investors, the people who are using this platform, they want this to succeed. They believe in this project, and that is very important. Moon opposes Chiron. Again, the sun squared Chiron. The moon, that could be the connection between the sun and the moon, is the other aspects. Like the sun was opposing Saturn, the moon squares Saturn. So that disconnect of that indecisiveness, where the sun is at that 29 degrees, that indecisiveness, that could be showing through in these other aspects. That could be their connection of the sun is making one difficult aspect to Saturn, and the moon is making another difficult aspect to Saturn. And there's other transit aspects going on that are similar, whether it's positive or negative. People who have created this project, the investors and the users, the disconnect, the connection, they could be communicating through various issues that arise, but because of that disconnect and indecisiveness, it's causing those issues to appear. And that could be what needs to be healed, is that there needs to be a connection between the users, investors, and the creators of this project platform coin. So Mars and Jupiter square each other. Jupiter squares Venus, trines Mercury. Jupiter squaring Mars. Jupiter is in Scorpio, the 6th house. The work of this project, the work of this coin, it's expansive. It is expanding itself. The volatility is expansive. Squaring Venus. Venus does relate to finances. Where is Venus? Venus is in Leo, in the 3rd house. Expanded. 3rd house has to do with communication. The communication of the finances could be expansive. The disconnect of the communication. Jupiter's also trining Mercury, which is in the 2nd house. Those are the tiebreakers. It could be could be neutral. Could be issues financially, but then there's a communication comes to smooth things over. Jupiter trines Neptune, squares the North Node. Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces, in the 10th house. Philanthropic, helping others, donating to others. Spiritual is the word that comes to mind because Neptune in Pisces is a very spiritual, unconscious, charity work. That's the word I want to use. Charity, very charitable. Saturn trining Uranus is a very positive in this chart, meaning the challenges that it could be facing, they could be overcome unexpectedly. The moon there sextiling that North Node, the users, the investors, they believe in the project. They want the project to succeed. Saturn trining Uranus, unexpected price movement, overcoming the limitations. Chaotic, but able to overcome it. This is a very positive aspect. Bringing something to light, uncovering situations, revealing them to help move past them, move through them. The coin itself will be volatile. There will be challenges with this coin. Pluto is opposing Mercury. There's a transformation that must happen in the communication of this coin. I feel like there's a disconnect with this coin, with the creators of it, the investors. There's some sort of disconnect in this coin here. The longevity of it, I feel, depends on overcoming this disconnect. Whatever this disconnect is between the users and the traders and the people who have created this coin. It's like the people who created this need to have some more focus and not be all over the place with their decisions, making too many decisions, too many promises. There's a disconnect here with this coin. Mercury is a tiebreaker, meaning if there's hard aspects and good aspects, it's gonna make or break certain things. Mercury being opposite to Mercury being in Cancer, it's emotional. Opposite to Pluto in Capricorn. The ruling, the rulership, the governance of this token that could undergo some big transformations in order for the coin to, I feel, survive. A big, deep transformation needs to occur in order for the coin to survive whatever this transformation will be. That depends on the traders and the company, or not the company, the people who have created this coin needing to overcome this communication disconnect within the ecosystem. This coin, the longevity of it, I feel is going to be volatile. It has some challenges that if are not overcome, it will influence the coin, and project will, I don't want to say go away, but diminish over time and be worth less in value over time, unless they can overcome this disconnect within the ecosystem. Last thing that we will look at with this coin is the Neptune-Mars axis, that chaotic axis that you want to look at with any project or investment. The line sits at 27 degrees of Aquarius and 27 degrees of Leo. And there's nothing there, which is good. There's nothing at 27 degrees of Aquarius or 27 degrees of Leo. The issues that could arise with this coin, or will arise with this coin, is when there's transiting planets sitting at 27 degrees of Aquarius or Leo. So watch out for that, for those extra volatile days. Again, this is a coin that the people believe in, but there's a disconnect here within the ecosystem, the people and the creators of the coin, that could be very limiting and affect the coin longevity of it. That disconnect needs to be overcome, and if it can be overcome, yes, the coin can make it, but there's a disconnect here somewhere within the coin, within the project. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know of any other coins that you are interested in me reading for, and I'll talk to you guys soon.